Jay Pages is one of my favorite places to visit in Arizona. Not just because they have one of the best open mats, and they do. However, it's stuff like this that really makes me appreciate what they do.
If you can't control someone, this is going to expose it. If you can't submit someone, this is going to expose it. If you get tired, this is going to expose it. Because there's absolutely no time limit. All submissions legal. Guys ready?
Get it!
So it came to my attention that Jay Pages recently put on a little in-house tournament for their blue belts. Apparently some of the guys were kind of talking trash and making jokes about how they should really run a tournament to see who has the best techniques and the best skill as a blue belt. All good and fine, except for one thing. Jay Pages actually said the winner of this tournament would get their purple belt. And I gotta tell you, it's this kind of shenanigans that I'm all about. If you know me, you know how much I love gambling. You know how much I love putting stakes on that. So when I saw these guys put together little vignettes and videos of a submission-only tournament where the winner would be crowned a purple belt, I thought to myself, yeah, it sounds like something I would do. And I want to give a shout out to the winner of that tournament, Andreas Ponce, otherwise known as the Punisher MMA. I know some of the people that you beat, and they are no slouches, so congratulations to you. Looking forward to seeing more from you and your team. My love and respect to you guys. And honestly, I'd like to see more of that nonsense. Because it's good content. And it's really funny. And it ups everybody in the gym. Hey, but speaking of nonsense, don't go anywhere. You're watching the Grappling Hour. What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to another installment of the Grappling Hour. My name is Raph Sparza. I am so happy that you are joining us on this beautiful week. Yes, I am exhausted. Yes, I am tired, but I still have a preview show here for you guys. Yeah, we just came back from Subversive. I took the whole setup, helped produce that show. I really enjoyed it. I had a blast. Yes, some people fell off the stage and then picked up a chair. You would think that I was behind that. No. Was not. But yeah, it was a really good time. Congratulations to everybody who participated. Even if you didn't win, I don't care. As long as you give us good matches, that's really what I'm looking for. And my thanks to everybody on the production team. I had some incredible people to work with. And namely, I don't want to single out too many people here, but I primarily worked with Brandon McCatherine. Always the best. Very quickly got to do a little bit of commentary with him while I was filling in for some bathroom breaks. But I also got to work with Robin Black, who I've seen for a long time, and I have the utmost respect for him. Just a wonderful class act of a human being, and the two of them did some great commentary. I also want to give a shout out to Robert from Free Admission, our good friend over that way. One of the nicest human beings in the entire world. One of the best technicians that you'll find in the sport, and he's very much behind the scenes of a lot of stuff out here in SoCal. So if you ever want to question anything about video or production, go to that man. And of course to my good friend Mike, who is putting on the event. That was a lot of fun, and I hope to do it very soon. I am hearing that the next Subversive takes place over in Miami. So get excited for that. And I think I'll be a part of that. So keep your ears on the ground. All right, we have a great show for you. ETHAN CRELINSTEN preview show. You'll get the first 10 minutes of it. However, if you'd like to see this interview in full, and I hope that you do, all I ask is that you go over to HY.PAGE/GRAPPLINGHOUR, and you get one of two things. One, you can get early access, which means you get to see these interviews a full month before anybody else. Or you can check out our premium content where we do tape studies. And guess what? We do a tape study with Ethan on his championship match with Nathan Orchard, and you get to hear some of his insight that helped him to win a Combat Jiu Jitsu championship. I really like this interview with Ethan because we get to learn a lot about how you can switch the goals. He tells me very early in the interview how he thought he would be winning EBI, original format, not combat jiu-jitsu worlds. And lo and behold, here you had a man who was very aggressive with his strikes. So why don't we get to that interview right now? Combat Jiu-Jitsu worlds, Ethan Crelinston definitely made all of us take notice. And I postulated this, but now I get to ask him as we bring him onto the show. The question I have for you, Senor Ethan, is when you came to this event, were you just trying to get a knockout? Because when I saw you going, I know you've got a really good rear naked choke, but it looked like you were more content on trying to find a knockout finish. Please welcome to the show, Ethan Crelinston.
What's up, Raph, my man? Cool. So yeah, to answer your question, like I was definitely working. So priority was wrestling and training, just to sort of like backtrack from the question a bit. Like I was very intent on staying on top and not being pinned down in any way for half a second. Then next priority is cement, figure out ways to cement position where I can deal damage with strikes and force them to shell up. And you kind of force them to do stupid shit with their body because they don't want to get hit. So like they bring their hands up and their elbows up and you ride the knees up and mount, and you could then fall off for an arm bar or get their hands up and get heavy strikes and get the turtle and take their back. So I was definitely doing that in training. So yeah, I was absolutely thinking of getting a couple TKOs. It didn't happen. The guys, the way they reacted ended up giving me an opportunity for a clean submission. So I'm not going to not take it. I'm just going to, I don't want to not take the submission, then get tired and maybe get tired later in the tournament. So I'm just, if the submission comes, I jumped on it, and Damien got, an insane TKO. The guy he TKO'd is a super nice guy. Very, very cool. We had dinner here a day ago. He's the nicest guy ever. So it's good to see him back on his feet, healthy, and, back intact and everything. But it was a beautiful knockout. Damien's striking was heavy. It was crazy. There was stuff, he was like yelling from the corner with my match versus Orchard. And I wish I had really listened more to what he was saying, because I was so concerned with my positioning. I didn't really want to out-position myself to really land the heavier shots. But maybe if I had done that, I could have got a TKO. So yeah, I was for sure trying to get TKOs, and the submissions just came before. So,
well, it's not for nothing. You were definitely trying to do it. I could tell in each match, from my perspective, the moment when you go, shit, all right, I'm just going to choke him. Because I've seen your work with your back takes. You, in my opinion, look like you could have finished it 2 minutes earlier in most of those matches, but then just said nah, you know what? I've put in enough strikes here. I've made my statement. Now I'm just going to finish because we got to move this train on.
Yeah, that's not far off. Yeah, there was, so let's see, the first one, I wasn't thinking I'm going to TKO this guy. I was just land heavy shots. And then he kept exposing his back. And the thing is, in training, I also practice this, you don't want to chase the back from a shitty position. You want to get them to really almost get them thinking just take my fucking back, stop hitting me. So it was more of that instead of just if he rolls through and I jump on the back. It's not so important to take the back. You could do a lot of damage from mount, a heavy high mount position. So there was that. There was the back is also obviously king of a position, but mount with strikes there's a lot to argue. It's arguably better or just as good. I kind of got distracted. Is that relative to what you were saying?
No.
Kind of it. So do I want to submit the guy or do I want to TKO? I'm going to take whatever I can get. But there was a few positions where it's do I go to take the back, or do I just sort of ride out the rotation and stay in mount and keep striking? It's a bit of that. And then eventually, it was we're 4, 5, 6 minutes into the match. I'm okay, I got to submit the guy and get this out of I don't want to stay too long. I don't want to burn myself out. I want to recover for the next match, and that's it. Yeah.
I guess what made me laugh is that from the bracketing standpoint, and also from knowing you a little bit, and you brand of goons over at B Team, there is a small element of competition. Now, I'm not talking the competition where you don't want each other to do
yes,
well.
I wanted to get a TKO because Damien got an insane TKO. Immediately, yes. And I couldn't do it. I tried. I couldn't. I hate it. But I won, so that's good.
Well, okay. The reason why I ask is it just looked that way because more than even Damien went out there and was definitely very aggressive with his slaps. But you came out and you were just possessed. And I'm like looking at you and I thought to myself, is this that kind of culmination of where your jiu-jitsu training began? If people know your story, they know that, you know, obviously you have a very well-versed jiu-jitsu game, but that you were originally drawn to jiu-jitsu for more than just jiu-jitsu, right?
Yeah, I actually was doing just striking, just boxing and kickboxing, Muay Thai, and some like barely some Greco, like a little bit. I was like learning. There were guys helping me, but I wasn't doing much grappling at all. And I wanted to do an MMA fight, and then the guys at TriStar, thank God, they told me that, you know, if I don't do any jiu-jitsu, I'm just going to get subbed. And they were, you know, absolutely right. I went with some guy who's smaller than me, Neil Shepard. He's out there. And Neil just beat the living shit out of me for like a full round. So I'm like, all right, I'll do this. But circling back, yeah, it was kicking and punching before, you know, grappling and submitting and all that shit.
I was just very happy that you got to show that side of your game because I don't know how many people truly know that about your story. They're so used to you just being an excellent grappler that it really did seem that once you signed on to this became a showcase for, yeah, I've got great jiu-jitsu, obviously, but now I can kind of show another form of my art, of my skill.
Yeah, it just highlights the position you're in. So like if your grappling is really good, then your striking is gonna be devastating. Whether it's like I'm not like that technical, like I could have like practiced to hit harder. I don't hit anywhere near as hard as these MMA guys. Open palm or close fist. I don't hit as hard as them. They practice. They actually know how to throw a punch or kick properly. You know, I haven't done that in years, so I don't know what the hell I'm doing. But the positioning gets me a big advantage. Like I'm able to, get past the guard and cement a good position and have my hands free. So that's where I get the upper hand there. But I don't want any MMA guys out there thinking like, oh, Ethan thinks he knows how to. Like, no, don't come at me with that. There's people saying crazy shit now on these posts, like, oh, just do MMA. I'm like, just shut the fuck up and enjoy the show.
So you're content just doing combat jiu-jitsu. You're not.
Yeah, I'm not doing MMA.
Okay.
I made that decision a while ago. It's too late for me. I'm 28. I don't have any delusions that I'm gonna be some MMA champ now. I'm happy with jiu-jitsu. I'm gonna get my ADCC in there and go for that.
Hey, good for you, man, because I definitely joked with a couple of my buddies. When we said that we were doing this interview, my first thought was, oh, okay, cool. I'm excited about it. And somebody who I was training with this week, they said, oh, you think he's going to go into MMA? And I was like, I'd have to ask him. But I go, if I know him and I'm just guessing, no, that was the MMA. Like, that was the opportunity to say, like, hey, go nuts. And so I go, if that's how I was looking at your performance, that's how I was like, yeah, no, I think he's making a good statement here.
Yeah, it was fun. It was a good way. It's like a very light hybrid of striking and grappling, but it's nothing like MMA. MMA, it's still like a completely new level. It's another world, and I don't have any intentions to try and like go that extra distance to acquire all those extra skills. And I'm good with just jiu-jitsu. I would have honestly, like, a regular EBI is what I've always wanted to do for years since I saw it. Since I saw like Jeff Glover and Gio Martinez go at it, years and years ago. But hey, it turns out the first real one is a CJJ. That's cool. You just stay on top and and that's it. But yeah, I don't have any intentions of going MMA. I've found my path, and I'm sticking to it.
All right, everybody, that's going to do it for us here at the show. I hope that you enjoyed that interview preview with Ethan Crelinston. I hope that you enjoyed Subversive. I hope that you've enjoyed the content that we produced here. We work our asses off. I would love it if you give us a like and a subscribe on all of our channels at Grappling Hour. And more importantly, I would love it if you give us a rate and review over on our Apple Podcast page or on our Spotify page. You're going to notice that a lot of our audio versions of these interviews are going to start going up there, and I would love for you guys to have them. Anyway, that's going to do it for us this week on the show. Be back next week. We already have a great interview lined up with another tape study. I'm very excited to tell you that our good friend from the UFC, Joe Solecki, makes a wonderful return, and he has some great insight as to how he was able to dig deep and get a win at a recent UFC fight night. All right, that's it. I'm done now. It's been a great day for grappling. We'll see you back on the mats.